All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about something really powerful, how to find some calm and, a sense of control when the world feels like it's spinning way too fast. We're going to unpack a super practical guide for shifting your focus away from all that noise and onto the one thing you actually can influence, yourself. So, does this question hit home for you? I mean, we've all been there. That feeling of being pulled in a million different directions, trying to manage everyone's expectations, the deadlines, what's happening in the news, it's just exhausting, right? We burn so much energy worrying about things that at the end of the day are totally out of our hands. And that's really the heart of it. That feeling of weight, of being stuck, it almost always comes from one simple mistake. We're trying to steer ships that aren't even ours to steer. But what if we could learn to just let go of the things we can't control and take back all that wasted energy for ourselves? Well, that leads us to a really powerful shift in thinking, a concept that author Mel Robbins talks a lot about. It's an idea that's so simple, it's kind of brilliant, and it all starts with just two little words. See, this is where we totally reframe the whole idea of letting go. It's not about being weak or giving up, it's an act of taking your power back. The let them theory is really a conscious choice to stop pouring your precious energy into the biggest sources of our anxiety, what other people think and what other people do. So let's look at how this actually works. First up, let them misunderstand you. Seriously, people are always going to see you through their own unique filter, their own experiences. Every ounce of energy you spend trying to control their perception of you is energy you can't use to build your own life. It's a full-time job with absolutely zero pay. And it's the same exact deal with their actions. Let them make their own choices. Now, this one is tough, I get it, especially when you really care about someone. But trying to control their path just robs them of the lessons they can only learn from the consequences of their own decisions. Your peace of mind can't depend on their choices. Okay, this next one, this might be the hardest of all, but it is so important. Let them not like you. The need to be liked by everyone is a cage. Chasing that approval means you have to shrink yourself down to fit into all these little boxes where you don't even belong. The energy you save here, you can reinvest that into building amazing connections with people who value the real you. And finally, oh, this is a good one, let them be wrong. Just think about the sheer amount of mental space you get back when you let go of the need to win every argument or correct every single thing someone gets wrong. This isn't about being a pushover. It's about choosing your battles and realizing your energy is just way too valuable to waste on fights that don't help you grow.
But here's the thing, let them is only half the story. When you release all that control, you create this space, right? And that space is meant to be filled with something way more empowering. So this brings us to the let me revolution.
Look at this. This is the entire shift right here on one screen. We're moving our attention away from that uncontrollable column on the left, their opinions, their choices, and we're investing it where our power has been all along, on the right. We can't control what they think, but we can absolutely control our own actions. We can't control their choices, but we can control our reactions. And this is where all that reclaimed energy goes. You point it back inward. It becomes, let me be authentic without constantly performing for other people. Let me take full responsibility for my own happiness instead of waiting for someone else to provide it. Let me choose how I react, creating my own peace instead of getting sucked into drama. You see, this isn't just about feeling better. It's about actively building the life you actually want on your terms with the resources you used to just give away. Okay, so the mindset makes sense, but how do we actually do this when we're stressed out and our old habits start kicking in? That's where the toolkit comes into play. Let's look at a few super practical, evidence-based tools you can start using like today. First up, we've got a simplified little technique from cognitive behavioral therapy. Think of it like a simple recipe for retraining your inner voice. For example, you catch the thought, my boss thinks I'm an idiot. Then you check it. Hang on, do I have any actual evidence for that? I don't really know what she thinks. Then you change it to an action. You know what? I'm going to ask for specific feedback on my last project. See how that works? You go from a helpless worry to a controllable next step. Next in the toolkit, boundaries. I absolutely love this definition. Boundaries aren't walls you build to shut people out. They are gates that you control, and they're designed to protect your most valuable, non-renewable resources, your time, your attention, and your energy. They're what keep you from burning out. And to make setting boundaries way less awkward, here are some scripts you can literally just copy and paste. They're clear, they're professional, and they're totally respectful. Notice how they don't just say no. Instead, they manage expectations around your time, the scope of your work, and how people can get in touch with you. This is such a fantastic tool for making sure your daily actions actually line up with the person you want to be. Big abstract values like excellence or well-being don't mean a whole lot until you translate them into small, concrete, controllable actions you can take every single day. Now, are you feeling overwhelmed by all this? Don't be. You can put all these ideas into practice with a really simple 1-week reset. Each day has just one small, totally manageable task that builds on the day before. It takes you from just being aware on day 1 to taking action and reviewing your progress by day 7. Literally, anyone can do this. So all of these things, the mindset shifts, the boundary scripts, the daily actions, they all point to one single core idea. Let's try to capture it in a powerful metaphor that you can take with you. This right here, this is the ultimate goal. We're not trying to create a life with zero problems, because let's be real, that's impossible. We are aiming for a life where we feel a sense of agency, that core belief that we can handle ourselves and our own actions, even when things get chaotic. This famous concept from Stephen Covey is the perfect filter to use every single day. Your circle of concern is always going to be huge. It's everything you care about. But your circle of influence, that's smaller. That's where your actions can actually make a difference. The entire goal here is to stop wasting your energy out in that big circle and invest all of it in the inner one. So, it all comes down to this one question that just cuts through all the noise. When you feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or like you have no control, just stop and ask yourself this. Where is my lever? What is the one small thing that I have control over right now? Find it and pull it. That is where your power lies.